We are back again with another Project CW alpha closed test build, and the build so far, as we're talking about today, is going to be the Kent. Is one of the quicker tanks of the Project CW alpha playtest that's going to be going on. So without further ado, let's go on the build, and you guys can watch a gameplay scenario of it and talk about some tips and tricks. So pretty much for the Kent, I go for more of a trying to get the reload as quick as possible and get the maneuverability as quick as possible, because with these light tanks, you're not going to be getting a lot of armor. You're trying to be as more as maneuverable and mobile as possible. So, and you're also trying to build into the guns as well. So for the module slot, the upgrade slot 1, I go for the first one, the HVFS. With the extra penetration power, module damage, and the shell speed. Pretty much makes it where you're going to more likely hit your shots because the shells are going quicker, and you get the extra pins, so you're more likely to actually, pin your target. So, for upgrade slot 2, I go with the forward speed +6 and the base acceleration, so I'm able to be a lot more quicker. Pretty much, I always try to build acceleration on my tanks, so I'm able to be more mobile. If you don't have as much acceleration, your tank's going to be a lot slower. It's going to be a lot harder for you to move her around and try to get us to certain sticky situations. Now, for upgrade slot 3, I go with the reticle size standing -10% and the reticle size max -5%. You could go with the aiming speed 15% or the reticle size 10% if you want to, but I'd rather go with this one. It makes the reticle size smaller when you're standing still, and -5% max overall. So I kind of like that one a little bit more. For slot 4, I go with the +6% reverse speed with the +7.5% base speed. You could also build into taking less critical hit damage, but I like having that base acceleration up because pretty much you just build that up over time, and it really makes a huge difference on your ability to outmaneuver the enemy. Because mostly with these lighter tanks, you're not trying to hit their front. You're trying to get around to their sides and their rear. Because a lot of these guns aren't going to have enough pen to really go through their front of a lot of the tanks. But if you're going on the side or the rear, you're going to do a lot of critical hit damage. You're going to do a lot of damage overall. So that's normally what I try to do. In slot 5, I go with the Trax number 2. This one does the traverse speed quicker, but overall I'm trying to make my tank quicker. So I go with the forward speed 7.02 and the +6 for the reverse speed. So makes you quicker overall, so super nice. In upgrade slot 6, I go with the 10% time between shots boost and the 7.5% time to load next mag. So it pretty much makes it quicker in between loading the magazines. So overall, you're able to get more shots out quicker. Now over here, you are able to build into the zoom if you want. So if you're trying to play this tank as more of a overall, like more of a tank, like a longer range sniper, but I like doing a little bit more of a middle to close range with this thing to be a lot more maneuverable. So normally that's what I do with that one. Now in slot 7, I do turret traverse speed +25% and the +5% aiming speed. Mostly due to the fact that I do a lot more close quarter combat with this thing, so having a faster traverse speed on the turret makes it where I'm more able to actually keep my turret tracked on the target that I'm aiming at overall. So that's why I do that in particular. If you're going to be doing more sniping at range, I would definitely say go for the first upgrade here for the GTC. But since I'm doing more closer combat, I want a higher traverse turret speed for that particular region. Now in slot 8, I go with the +150 hit points and the -7.5% reticle size max. Pretty much makes it where the reticle is going to be smaller, so you're more likely to hit your shots. The gun elevation is 25 degrees, so it makes it where you're able to aim up and down better, but overall, I'm trying to do that one more for that one. Now, for upgrade slot 9, I have 150 spotting range with the spotting angle this one. You could do the signals or this one more of a personal preference, but since I'm more trying to go on the flank with this thing, I do that one more overall. In slot 10, I do the Haste MK2. Time to load in next magazine is negative 35% and the plus 25 damage with this one. You could do this one here, but it makes the shell so slow that it just makes it really, really tough to actually be able to hit anything. So normally I just go with this one. You just got to be really careful of your ammo rack. Make sure you just don't get that hit, because if you do, you're going to be a load of pain. Now for Consumables M1, you have the HP overtime. Of course, this is a must-have. You always have to have this one on your tank. I have the energy booster here with instant 50 energy points. But I don't think you can either take this one or you can take the insta-heal shell shock crew. So I'm just going to take that one instead, because he doesn't have any really real skills on this one, unfortunately. So unfortunate for that one. I meant like abilities, I mean. So, of course, the next one's going to be fire prevention. Of course, you take that one. Now, for the perks, I have the increased tank reverse speed by 2 kilometers per hour. Makes it where you're able to reverse more, which is very nice indeed for your ability to be able to be more maneuverable around. Very nice. Very maneuverable. Just makes it where you're able to move around, be more mobile, dodge enemy shots, or just maneuver around them. That's pretty much your whole point. In slot 2, I go with the reduced gun reload time by 10%. Of course, you're trying to get your reload down as quickly as possible so that you're able to get more rounds out. That's why I particularly do it. If you're going to be doing long-range sniping, I would say go with the quick draw, which increases the gunner aiming speed by 15%. But again, it's more of a personal preference, but I just want the reload quicker. And finally, for the final perk, I go with improved gun stabilization when shooting on the move. Since I'll be moving a lot in this particular tank, that is the main reason. But yeah, if you guys have any questions on the build, just let me know in the comments. But without further ado, we're going to go and look at some gameplay. One thing that makes this tank particularly interesting is the fact that it has five 3-round clips. So pretty much... Sorry, it has 4 3-round clips. My apologies. 4 3-round clips, so you get 12 rounds in total. And it takes 15 seconds to load all of them. One thing that I saw during the alpha test is that you're not able to reload the clip all the way. So pretty much if you shoot half, you're not able to just reload the clip. You have to empty all the shells. Even though it says the X key is the reload, it's currently just a bug. I'm not super, surprised. It's an alpha play test. I don't expect everything to be perfect, so whenever the game does come out, I do expect it to be fixed by then. But at this point, I'm just trying to enjoy the game, just test out things, see how I like it. But this tank is a lot of fun to play, very maneuverable. But very enjoyable to play. Now, most of the time, you're trying to get along the side or the rear of a tank. You don't have any special abilities with the tanks, and I don't think you really need it. You do get a lot of HP with this tank. 2,500 is a lot of HP, but having the 12 round magazine is is a lot of potential damage you got there. It's a lot for sure. Just look at all that damage. Just good lord, man, all that damage. Now, during this replay, you probably will see me just emptying out the mag where I'm just shooting. But as you can see, you can do long-range sniping with this thing, but I personally like being more closer range with it, just due to the fact that you can absolutely devastate a tank if you get around their side or you're doing circles around them with that whole 12 clip. But again, if you don't kill a target with that 12 mag, yeah, it's gonna be quite painful, I'm afraid. It'll be quite painful. Now, this tank versus the first light tank you're able to get, it's pretty close on which one I like better. This one's a lot of fun. They're both like interesting quirks, but just look at all that damage from the critical hit damage. Good lord. I barely don't kill them, just barely. I did forget that this was like their spawn, so whenever I'm going up here, I'm like, oh yeah, I can just come up here, and I'm like, oh wait, no, I can't. I was like, oh, rip. He has the high ground. But yeah, with that, I'm like, all right, well, I gotta get out of here, so I'll zoom on out. But with this tank, you're mostly trying to get along. You can do two play styles, like I said before, during the build section. You can either play more long range with this thing, because this thing is very accurate, or you can play it more closer, kind of brawl, use that speed and use that turret traverse to get around the enemy and use the terrain to your advantage. This map is particularly good for this tank because there's a lot of little areas for you to run around or sneak up on the enemy. It's I definitely enjoy it a lot with this tank, with the Kent. It's a lot of fun. But it's one thing about Project CW I'm liking a lot. There's a lot of diversity in the tanks already after the start of the game, so I'm definitely interested to see how it goes further down the line. Now you do also get a special 6-hit wonder, which gives you a nice boost as well, but oh yep, and here he comes up the hill, and at this point, well, I don't have a magazine, so I'm just gonna bail and move away from him. That's the one thing I like about his maneuverability, having a high base acceleration. You're able to just keep rotating around, running around, just zooming around the hills where some tanks may not be able to keep up with you. It's a lot of fun for sure. Oh yeah, get that nice damage.
Spot on.
Oh yeah, that's super nice. And you see, I just wanted to empty out my mag since I'm not really able to. If somebody knows the key, because I tried X and it didn't work. So if someone could tell me the key and maybe it'll work, I can try in the future. But so far I tried X and that's what it said for reload. I couldn't, it didn't work. So if anybody knows the actual keybind for reloading a whole mag, I'd greatly appreciate that, because it would save me a lot of time in just trying to empty out mags over and over. And yeah, this person legit just ignored my ally right there, so I kind of figured he was either wanting vengeance against me or he just knew I was a threat, because he completely ignored the dude that was my teammate that was down there. And yep, as you can see, we had this cap the whole time, so you better get out of that bomb area or you're gonna be suffering. And yep, I get my magazine and I get to just start wailing on this dude's behind if I can actually hit my shots. Now I'm trying to hit his tracks. If I can hit his tracks and get him to pretty much just be stuck there, it's almost like a GG already, because the poor dude just couldn't do much. And again, just look at all of that damage from that critical hit damage. Oh, it's so brutal. It's such a pain. Woo. I also like the design of this tank. It actually looks pretty cool. You can see the ammo housing in the back. It just looks super cool. I love all these designs. They're really cool. I know that this game isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I personally find this game a pretty nice, like, just you go in, have fun. It's not like, it's not, I don't know. It's just a lot of fun to play. I'm enjoying it a lot. Now, as you can tell there, I wasn't doing as much damage due to the fact this thing doesn't have all the pen in the world. So normally you're either trying to knock out the tracks or get along the side. You have to, or aim, of course you have to aim a little more plate there, so. Little 6-hit wonder, get that track damage there, try to make sure you can't really move around. Oh yeah, but I get my reload and oh, well, there he is. And my teammate tried to use rockets, but unfortunately he messed that up. And I'm just aiming right at that engine, aiming at that ammo. Not getting any critical hit damage, unfortunately, but got a ton of it in the engine, so I'll take it. Now, I get to go back down the hill. I get my reload back up. I was trying to help him here against him, but I wasn't able to. So I kind of just zoomed past him, try to get some shots on his rear. But again, this thing does not have the best turret diverse. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to bail, but the match is already done. So GG. That was a lot of fun. I was top of the team, so I'll take that for sure. But anyway, if you guys have any questions or concerns about the kit, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Share your builds as well. And I will talk to y'all later.